Hello again, my name is Rodney Reynolds and welcome to another video review. Today I will be looking at the Vantec CCK 6012 cooler. What is included in the package is some thermal compound as well as the cooler itself. One of the first things you will notice here is that the cooler is certainly very tiny, both the heatsink here as well as the fan. Now this is recommended for an Intel Pentium 3 FCPGA and FCPGA2 up to 1.4 gigahertz or a Celeron PPGA or even an AMD Athlon XP all the way up to 2 gigahertz. So despite its size, it can support some really fast CPUs. And also, this is 100% copper. The heatsink on this is absolutely 100% copper, so certainly that's going to give you some decent results. Now keep in mind here that you have a very, very small fan, and this fan only pushes around 21 CFMs. The noise level on this fan is around 36 dB, so it's very, very quiet, and obviously it's quiet because it doesn't push a lot of air, and the results later, which I will show you, are very interesting considering that fact. Now the dimensions here of the heatsink itself on the bottom is 60 by 61.6 by 12 millimeters, and the fan dimension is 60 by 60 by 10.5 millimeters, and the overall dimension here is 60 by 61.6 by 22.5 millimeters. So again, certainly a very compact cooler. And also I should mention that the RPMs on this fan is 4,800. The clip design on this is very handy. Just clip it in one side and go ahead here with your thumb and clip it down and secure it to your motherboard. And again, it's very, very easy, as you can see here, to clip this on. Great design on the clip. It's so simple to do. Of course, you do not need a screwdriver to mount this to your motherboard. Now also, of course, you can see here right away that this thing is extremely reflective. Therefore, it's very, very smooth, and therefore getting great contact between this block of copper and your CPU. When installing any cooler, you want to make sure that you apply some thermal compound. Now in this situation, of course, you could use the thermal compound which is included in this particular package. In my case here, I'm using Arctic Silver 2. This is a Duron 1 gigahertz. I have it at 1.85 volts, and I have it overclocked to 1.2 gigahertz. Let me now show you how easy it is to install this cooler onto the motherboard. Simply clip down this side first and then proceed to the other side and you're finished. Now just let me show you here how simple this is to remove and install. Now keep in mind, I am right-handed and I'm using my left hand here in this situation, and I'm also holding a pretty heavy camera here in my right hand. So keeping all that in mind, you'll see how very simple this is to both remove and install. Now I'm just going to remove it here first. So it's off. Of course, to completely remove it, just take off the other clip on the other side. But to pop it back in, just use some pressure and it's installed. As you can see here, this fan certainly does have a very, very low profile and of course a very small fan. Now, how loud is this fan? Well, let me go ahead here and test it. As you can hear, it is extremely quiet. And certainly a lot quieter than a 7,000 RPM fan. However, of course, a 7,000 RPM fan would keep the CPU a little cooler than the fan with the Vantec 6012. But let me just plug this thing in. You can hear a certain definite difference. At the bottom right-hand corner here, you will notice a result of 52 degrees Celsius. This is a max load result. I'm using a Duron 1.0 gigahertz at 1.2 gigahertz, and the voltage is set at 1.85 volts. The advantages to this cooler are pretty obvious. It's tiny, so you can fit it almost anywhere. It's certainly affordable, and it's also quiet. However, if you are an overclocker and you want to be overclocking your CPU, increasing the voltage and so on and so forth, you are not going to be pleased with this kind of cooler, and it is not meant for that purpose. The purpose, again, for this is to fit into very confined spaces. It's inexpensive, and of course, it is very, very quiet. So overall, this cooler does offer you good value. Again, my name is Rodney Reynolds, and this has been another video review. Be sure to check back very soon. I will have a brand new one for you then. Also, check out my website at www.3dgameman.com, and while you're there, check out the forums. In the forums, of course, you can register. Registration is free. You can leave your own suggestions and comments in there, and of course, you can find out more information about this product and about all the products which I video review. Until the next time, take care.